Analyze your symptoms after you stop eating trash. Okay? That's the message of today. Because everyone's out here thinking that their symptoms can go away with one change or with one herb or with one supplement. And people will ask me, what are the top 3 foods you recommend to eat? Or I have psoriasis. I have twitching in my eyes. I have irregular periods. I have joint pain. I have whatever. What do I need to do? What thing do I need to change? What do I need to get rid of in my routine? Okay? Now, everyone has developed symptoms of some type. The body has developed symptoms of some type because you are acidic. Okay? Your body is acidic. And this is how this happens. We consume chemical food. United States, awful. United States is the worst country. People will go to other countries and lose weight while still eating like bread and shit like that. So, yes, okay? We eat chemical foods. We use deodorant, chemical deodorant. We drink chemical water. We eat, we just consume toxins on every level possible. Every level of the body or every level of society is dumping toxins into our body. And it sits in our organs and sits in our glands and increases that toxicity level. Now, our blood cannot hold on to acidity. Our blood is 7.4 pH and cannot waver from that pH or else we die. 7.4 pH. So, if we have so much acidity coming into the body, so much, and our blood can't hold on to it, where does it go? Where does it go? Our lymphatic system. Our blood is the thing that transports nutrients, oxygen, removes toxins from each organ, and then the lymphatic system cleans the blood. The lymphatic system takes on all these toxins, all the parasites, all the pathogens, everything that's literally all the cellular waste that is being excreted from your cells is taken on by the lymphatic system. Sorry, I had low battery for a second. So, if the lymphatic system is the thing that's taking on all the toxins, and all the toxins have a pH that are so much lower than the body, we are naturally increasing the acidity of our lymphatic system. And our lymphatic system covers the entire body. It literally looks like the circulatory system. It has lymphatic vessels, lymphatic capillaries, everywhere. Lymph nodes, you guys know, lymph nodes here, armpits, lymph nodes, groin, lymph nodes. You have lymph nodes everywhere. And these are the sewage dumping grounds of your lymphatic system. So if you get swollen lymph nodes, or if you have cysts, or if you have tumors, this is a backup of lymphatic fluid, a backup of acidity, a backup of toxicity. Okay, those two words are interchangeable in my eyes, acidity and toxicity. You have a backup in a certain area of the body where the lymph is stagnant. The lymph is stagnant, okay? So this is how the body becomes acidic, because none of us know how to flush our waste out. We have this sewer system of the lymphatic system that is just taking on toxins. And because all of our elimination pathways are broken and slammed shut, we cannot eliminate this toxic waste. So your elimination pathways are the colon, the kidneys, the skin, the lungs. I'm being weird putting this like this. And the liver. Okay? Elimination pathways. All right? So, if your elimination pathways are shut, which most of ours are, if your pee is crystal clear, like water, like tap water, with not a single flake, not a single speck, not a single sediment, hey, hello everybody, welcome. If I'm getting a little loud too, I speak really loud, guys, I'm sorry. I get loud, and then the combination of me talking about this topic gets me like low-key tight sometimes, because I just get mad that society is destroying us. Sorry again, I need to just re-up on water, re-up on lip balm. Y'all are really seeing the behind the scenes here. I can't look crusty on live, Can't do that. Okay, cool. So, be the teacher you are. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Honestly, Honestly, yes. Being a teacher, I resonate with that so much. In my part-time life, in real life, I'm a garden teacher. So I literally teach elementary school children age pre-K to 4th grade gardening and herbal medicine and growing food in a community garden. That's what I do in my part-time. And then I've just been like a tutor my whole life. So like teaching is definitely great. And one thing that I've appreciated so much from all of you who are following this page and like commenting on my stuff, the one thing I get over and over, and this is me being humble, okay, y'all? I'm humble, right? Actually, humble people probably don't say they're humble. Anyways, I like to flex my skills, and my one skill that I have is articulating complicated topics to making them easy to understand. And that's the number one thing that everyone who has seen my reels recently has said. I adore the way that you articulate this and can make it so simple for me to understand. Because not everyone studies this to the deepest cellular level. So it has to be made simple. It has to be made simple. So where was I? Elimination pathways is where we are. Also, feel free to ask questions in the chat if y'all want to guide this discussion. I'm literally hopefully waiting for this rain to clear up in some capacity, and it's probably not going to, but I don't have a seminar to go to until 12:30. So go off with questions if you want to, and I'll just stop when I run out of time. Or when my phone dies. I hope it doesn't. I might need to I'm on 6%. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to switch to charging and take out my headphones. I know the audio gets really, really trash when I take out my headphones, so just bear with me until I get like 15%, and then we'll get back in. Okay, cool. So, we were on elimination pathways. Lymphatic system accumulates waste, accumulates toxicity. That creates the pH of the lymphatic system to go down. Acid. Okay, lymphatic system is the thing that becomes acidic. Our lymphatic system holds the waste. Our blood does not hold the waste. Our blood removes the waste, delivers, and then lymphatic system cleans the blood, okay? So our elimination pathways are not open. Kidneys, colon, liver, skin, lungs. 5 elimination pathways. If those are not open, you are not eliminating waste as fast as your body is taking it in. Because society now has toxins flooding us every single moment of our lives. Every moment of our lives. Think about this. I could walk from here to my car. Gasoline emissions from the cars. Fucking, if I go in there and I eat any of the food in there, all that is toxic. All that is made with cooked seed oils. All that, even at a natural health conference, you'd be surprised. There are a couple juice spots. In there. But like, even yesterday I got this like vegan Latino food, and I still knew my plátano maduro was cooked in seed oils. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just pick your poison. And let's just say society has gotten to a point where we cannot avoid this stuff, which is why detoxing is a thing. Humans did not have this level of toxicity bombarding their body even maybe 30 years ago. Like, our parents didn't even have this much. It's gotten so much worse. And we're so much sicker. We are so much sicker. So it's like undeniable. It's undeniable what's happening here. And it's like really such a simple explanation. It's like toxicity has risen, disease has risen, so why wouldn't disease be caused by toxicity? Like, it seems really simple to me. But for some reason, the mainstream can't articulate why everyone is so sick. For some odd reason, no one can articulate why everybody is so increasingly sick. So, anyways, your lymphatic system has to flush out of your elimination pathways. The lymphatic system flushes directly out of the kidneys and dumps into the colon too, and can dump into the colon. So if your pee is crystal clear, and I'm not talking about color, right? Color is a totally different thing. I know that we've all been told, like, your pee shouldn't be dark yellow because that means you're dehydrated. And your pee should be super white because that means you're hydrated. The actual reality is that it lies somewhere in the middle, okay? If your pee is crystal clear with no flakes, no sediment, no nothing, okay? So there's 2 components. There's color and there's actual substance. If your pee is crystal clear with no color, no substance, your kidneys are not filtering. Your kidneys are not filtering waste, and your lymphatic system is backing up every day. Every day that your kidneys are not open and flushing waste, your lymphatic system is accumulating that even more, okay? But if we lie somewhere in the middle, say you have a slight yellow color, or say you see like slight flakes sometimes, then you know you have some filtration. Some filtration, okay? It's not the best filtration if you have a little bit, it's some. But herbs help with this. Herbs help increase the kidneys, and of course you got to change your diet. You have to change your diet, and that is the topic of this thing. Analyze your symptoms after you stop eating trash, okay? You have to change your diet before you go and literally decide that something's wrong with you, okay? So if you have irregular periods, if you have Hashi, if you have fibroids, if you have fibromyalgia, if you have multiple sclerosis, if you have ovarian cysts, if you have endometriosis, like what I do, all of that is covered. All of that is covered. You can support all of that with this one field, okay, of regenerative health, all right? And I could just keep going. I could spend hours on whatever diagnosis people are diagnosed with. Autoimmune, lupus, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, eczema, psoriasis, acne, even me, guys, right? I'm on this journey. Like, this acne is the last thing left. The last thing left, okay? Any of those symptoms are because you have too much acid in your body and your elimination pathways are not open and toxicity has increased. Okay? To the point where it manifests any way possible in different humans. All right? Everybody's different. Every body is different. It can manifest as any of those things. Okay? So until you change your diet, do not decide something is wrong with you. Because if you're still consuming food out of a box or a bag, and you're still eating Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, don't declare a symptom on your body. Truthfully, it's all mental. It's all mental. It's all mental. Because when you change your diet even slightly, you increase mineral consumption. You start eating greens in some way. Blend them up in smoothies. Blend spinach up with bananas and water. That shit tastes so good. I literally like this whole mason jar was a green smoothie with greens, whole thing of spinach in the blender, bananas, and frozen organic pineapple. If you're getting frozen fruit, it can be organic. Organic frozen fruit is okay. That's what makes this accessible. This lifestyle is accessible. I am a normal ass person. I am a normal person. This is accessible, okay? You just gotta stop spending money on bullshit. Don't go buy a bacon, egg, and cheese at Dunkin' Donuts because you think that's gonna fill you up and you're starving. Go buy, for that $3.29, go buy a pint of strawberries. Sorry if you guys can hear the rain. Sorry. I think my charging is gonna be decent right now. Let me switch. This just got really, really heavy. Okay. Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Please let me know. Please let me know. Testing. Anyone give me a thumbs up. Give me anything. Anything if you can hear me, please. Because I don't want this to go to waste. I don't want to keep talking if it's going to go to waste. Yeah, okay. Hundreds. I'll take that as you can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay, word. So, I was saying, go buy a pint of strawberries for that $3.29, okay? Go buy that instead of your Dunkin's bagel. And I don't care if you're like, oh, the bagel's going to fill me up more than the strawberries. Do not say that until you try it. Do not say that until you try it, okay? Do not say that until you try it. If you want to go spend, McDonald's ain't cheap no more. If you want to spend $14 on a Big Mac meal and a soda, go spend $14 on 3 pints of strawberries and a little thing of blueberries and see how you feel. Do not tell me that the Big Mac is going to fill you up more than the fruit until you actually try it. Please. Because on a physiological level, complex carbohydrates from all of those refined breads and buns and bagels and all those things, the body exerts more energy breaking down complex carbs than it does uptaking fruit any day. Any day. The body gets more exhausted trying to make a chain of complex carbs into absorbable material for the body. The body can only uptake 3 types of things into the cells: fructose, glucose, galactose. Fructose is only from fruit. And if you go on Google and you look up fructose, they will tell you that it's going to make you fat, but they lump it in with high fructose corn syrup. They literally I did so much research the other day because I was like, why is the internet telling me that fructose is making people fat? Why is the internet telling me that? Until you dive a level deeper, if you go on Google, the first things that come up, it doesn't differentiate between fruit sugar and man-made fructose. I was stunned. I was stunned when I saw this. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? Oh my gosh. I can't even believe it. Anyways. The body exerts more energy to break down a chain of complex carbohydrates into absorbable glucose. Okay, so I talked about fructose only comes from fruit. Glucose comes from grains, pastas, bread, vegetables even. Okay, all of those are complex carbohydrates, but then we have different types of complex carbohydrates. Vegetables, right? People can still get a little tired when eating like white potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuff because it's a complex carbohydrate that the body... Sorry, I'm like burping on fucking live right now. So sorry. Normal human body, guys. Hello. So the body has to break down all these complex carbs into glucose no matter what. Vegetables are broken down into glucose and all the junk refined carbs are broken down into glucose. But the body has to exert more energy than it actually yields. Yields is the word. So when your body is using up a ton of energy to break down that complex structure into a simple structure, that takes more energy than the actual energy that simple glucose will provide you. And that's what the itis is. The itis results from you having to exert more energy on a cellular level than you're actually receiving from the simplest form that the body finally broke it down into. That's the itis. I know y'all know what the itis is. We said this in college every time. Like binging on McDonald's and pizza and we're all like knocked out with the itis. Because on a cellular level, that's what it is. Your cells are exerting more energy. You are exhausting your body in order to try to break down this trash into decently absorbable energy. That's what it is. I also like the term the itis. People also say food coma, but I like, the itis. That's what it is. That's what I learned from the beginning of time, the itis. So, where were we? I jumped around so far, guys. We were on elimination pathways. Okay, so we started with kidneys. Let's move to the colon. If you are not pooping twice at least, ideally 3 times per day, your colon is not eliminating at the rate that it should be for the amount of toxins that you're eating. 2 or 3 times per day. Most people don't even get 1 per day. And those 2 or 3 times shouldn't be a struggle either. You should be pooping every single time you have a meal. Not right after. You need time to absorb, but you should be pooping for every meal that you have. Okay? That is when you know your colon is open. When you poop so effortlessly per day. Okay? That one's pretty straightforward to me. If you're pooping, it's open. If you're not pooping, it's closed. That's it. Now let's talk about the lungs. So the lungs excrete waste in a form of carbon dioxide, okay? If you're not breathing, which for some reason, I don't know why I'm so resistant to sitting down and doing breath work. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm still at a point where I am actively consuming. I'm actively consuming a lot of information. Almost every part of my day is either watching a video, completing a coursework, doing something. And for some reason, I'm I don't have time to be sitting there and meditating or doing breath work. I don't know why I'm so resistant to it. That's the hump that I'm over. However, every single mentor that I have is you need to do breath work. And this is to the whole population. You need to do breath work because I catch myself barely breathing. I am shallow breathing 24/7. If I really take a full deep breath like that, I don't feel that on a daily basis. I'm like in this like shallow breathing where it's like only up here, right? Versus like deep in the lungs. I'm like only breathing from my chest almost. I think that's the way to describe it. But most of us are breathing so shallow like that. So are we able to fully excrete waste out of the lungs? No, because we are not conscious of how deep our breath is. We are not actively doing a 1-minute session even. A 1-minute session of breath work. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. I felt like I had to breathe for a second. Breath work is important. I still have not got this piece down, right? I have not got that piece down, but breath work is important. And I can literally say that as facts because on a cellular level, I understand the benefit that it is. Okay? Okay. Next one. Liver. Oh my God. The liver has so much. The liver is so much. Okay. The liver has over 500 functions, okay? One of its main functions is detoxifying. Another main function is digesting fats. If your diet is so high in fat, which it will be if you're eating oils, cooking with oils, eating like high processed food products with synthetic saturated fat in it, the whole 9 yards. If your diet is high in fat, even if you're vegan and you're a high-fat vegan, relying on seeds, relying on avocados, relying on olive oils, your liver is using so much energy to break down fat that it cannot use that energy to detoxify your body. Okay? And then on top of that, if your body is acidic, if your liver has to constantly be producing bile to break down fat, then you're going to get stones and blockages in your liver ducts, okay? I did a liver flush, right? The amount of fatty deposits that are in the form of green stones that came out of my body is ridiculous. And that is what is blocking your liver ducts. So your liver is bogged down by blockages. Parasites also. Parasites latch onto those little, I wish I had a photo to show you guys. They're like green. Let me picture. Picture a pom-pom. A little pom-pom. You know those things that we used to do crafts with in elementary school? Picture a green pom-pom. That's the closest analogy that I can give you. Because they're made of fat. Okay, they're like squishy too. Sometimes they can be hard stones, but the liver has like squishy. My liver stones were like squishy almost. And they're green and parasites get attracted to them and they like clog up your liver ducts and things like that. So the liver's bogged down with stones. The liver's bogged down because of your high fat diet that it has to focus on all that fat that it can't do its detoxifying process. So let's relieve some burden off the liver. Let's stop eating so much high-fat foods. Even as a vegan, chill out on the oils. Chill out on the olive oil. Chill out on the nuts and seeds. Now, I definitely still need fat. Like, I don't feel fully nourished without fat. So I'm not telling you to get rid of it completely. I'm telling you to be smart about what your choices are. Especially if you're dealing with chronic disease, I'm telling you to be smart about what you're putting in your mouth. If you have no chronic disease left, if you've detoxified your body and you have no chronic disease left, then you can actually fully intuitively eat to the way your body wants to. Your body is clean enough to be giving you accurate signals of what it needs. But if you're not clean and your body's like, oh, I need meat right now. I just posted a reel on this. Go look at that. If your body's craving sugar, if your body's craving meat and you are not clean, that is not a true signal from your body. Okay? That is anything else talking. That is parasites talking. That is bacteria talking. That is fungus talking. That is everything else talking. Telling you, literally changing the physiology of your body to where you're craving these things that you may not crave if you were clean. Okay? So that was the liver, a little bit about the liver. We did liver, lungs, colon, kidneys. Last one is skin. Okay. You can clearly see in the eyes. I study iridology, right? Iridology, the eyes. Irises of the eye. You can clearly see when someone's skin is stagnant in their eyeballs. Let me see if I can let me get some light here. Let me show y'all my eye a little bit. Let me look right up into the camera. Okay, that's my eyeball. I have a dark ring. Like you can kind of see, like the middle of my eyes are kind of light. The middle of my iris are kind of light. And then I have this ring that's a little bit darker brown around the whole thing. I see this in blue eyes a lot, where they'll have really, really dark blue and it looks beautiful. Their eyes look gorgeous. Dark blue around the outside then becomes lighter blue and towards the pupil. If you have that ring around your eyeball that is darker than your eye color, it is called a skin ring. Sorry, I paused again because I'm back on low battery, 10% battery. If you have a skin ring around the outside of your eyeball, your skin is literally congested, stagnant, not ridding waste like it should be. Lymphatic system is trying to come out of your skin. So maybe this is manifesting as psoriasis, eczema, rashes, hives, acne. Like your skin is desperately trying to excrete waste and it's like struggling to do so. That's what that ring is around the outside of your eye. Your skin is also your third kidney. So if your kidneys aren't flushing, which we talked about, most people's kidneys are not flushing because society has bogged us down so much that our toxin overload is so extreme and our food is depleted of minerals. This is the other component. You need minerals for your entire system to function. You need minerals for every gland and organ to function, but our food is depleted. The United States has depleted our food. So now our vegetables and our fruit are completely depleted. So even just with food, right? Even a vegan, this is where I went wrong at one point in time. Even a vegan or vegetarian, right? And I'm not talking about vegan, vegetarian who use plant-based meats and all that crap. I'm talking about like I guess plant-based alkaline diet type vibe. If you're a vegan or vegetarian on that wave, and you are still depleted, it is because the food is depleted. It does not work in the United States anymore. It does not work in this country anymore to be fully vegan without using any additional mineral supplementation. And I used to hate the word supplement, but there's a difference. There's a difference between Vitamin Shop or Whole Foods, magnesium glycinate and calcium citrate and all those things, okay? There's a difference between that supplementation versus sea moss, versus seaweed, versus fulvic minerals, versus wheatgrass, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the two difference between those things? I can never find wheatgrass in a Vitamin Shop, pure wheatgrass. I can never find fulvic minerals in a Vitamin Shop. None of these things are mainstream. None of it is mainstream. Sea moss? When was the last time y'all found sea moss in a store? You need to know the underground neighbor down the street who makes the sea moss in their crib. Like, that's how you get your sea moss. Or you have to order online. I have never found sea moss in a store in my life. I could not go to a store right now, drive there and get sea moss. This doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Sorry, I needed to reflect for a second on what I was just saying. So additional mineral supplementation is very key, is very, very key. So we were talking about the skin being the third kidney. If your kidneys are not flushing waste, your lymphatic system is backing up, and it's trying to come out the skin desperately going to try to come out the skin, which manifests as skin conditions there, psoriasis, eczemas, rashes, hives, acne, those types of things. Okay? You need to get sweating. If you're someone who doesn't sweat, there's a big issue. There's a big problem. It should not take you 30 minutes in a sauna to start sweating. In a sauna at like 150, if you're in a sauna at 150 and it takes you 30 minutes to get sweating, that is a long time. You should be sweating in 10, maybe 15 at a 150 temperature. And I know most of us don't have access to a sauna. I don't have access to a sauna like the beautiful, gorgeous wooden saunas. So I bought a portable sauna. I bought a little sauna tent, right? And I sit in it and it gets me up to 150 and I sit in there for an hour, truthfully. If I really want a good sweat sesh, I'll be sweating for 50 minutes total, buckets coming out of me. I'll get out of the sauna. I'll do an interval. I'll wait 10 minutes, go back in for another 30 minutes, back and forth, back and forth. When I get out of the sauna, I'll go in for a cold shower, then I'll put it on steaming water, then I'll go back to cold water. It's like when you drastically change your temperature like this, you are activating your lymph and your skin. Sweating is a passive cardiovascular exercise. Getting in a sauna is a passive cardiovascular exercise. So if you cannot, for some reason, if you're totally like debilitated or immobile or whatever, and you can't exercise and you can't get sweating through exercise and you can't move your lymph through exercise, the next best thing you can get is a sauna. Or if you haven't made exercise a routine yet, for me, exercise is not a routine yet. It is not a routine yet. I am very inconsistent with exercise. And I don't like it because I feel like I want to be toned. I want my muscle to feel strong. I want to be doing that, right? It's just not a routine yet. I admit that. So because it's not a routine, I have to move my lymph, right? And I use dry brushing and saunas in order to do that. I need to keep my skin open and flushing waste in a good way where it's not stagnant. So in my sauna tent, right? The sauna tents usually have your face pop out of it and then the rest of your body. No. I am sitting on a little stool crouched in there because I want my face to sweat. Because I have acne and I have this stagnant lymphatic fluid in my face manifesting as pimples and whiteheads. In order to sweat, when I sweat that out, I am drawing out lymphatic fluid every single time. Every single time lymphatic fluid is coming out of my face. And that is one less opportunity for lymph to stay stagnant. Where can I find your guide on how to correctly use a dry brush? I do not have a guide on how to correctly use a dry brush, so I will tell you how to correctly use a dry brush right now. So a dry brush is, I think, I might put a link in my bio for the best dry brush. There's a specific brand of dry brush that's the best. But let me here's my leg, okay, everybody? When you dry brush, you go from your foot, oh my gosh, sorry. You go from your foot up your leg this way, okay? So pretend my hand is a dry brush. Brushing like 10 or 20 times, whatever feels good, up, okay? Done with my foot and my ankle, let me move to my shin, up, all the way on the back too, up to my thigh, boom. Dry brushing, getting your groin, everyone, getting your groin, and then up your stomach, up your back too, into the armpits. Look at me on the internet doing this bullshit. It's to teach the people. It's to teach the people. Up your stomach, into your armpits, and then when you do your face, you go down. You go down like this, okay? That is my 30-second guide on the right way to dry brush, okay? I will post a link in my bio on the best dry brush to get as well. Good question. Great question. So we covered all the elimination pathways: kidney, skin, liver, lungs, colon. Okay. So back to the heading of this live. Analyze your symptoms after you stop eating trash. I think I've communicated what that means in a good way. Your body will not truly know where the imbalances lie unless your diet is cleaned up. Because if you guys are already eating decently well and you still have problems left, that's how you know where the imbalances lie. Like, let me use my body as an example. I am the healthiest person I know other than my mentors, right? The only healthier people that I know personally that I can have conversations with are my mentors who have been doing this for 30 years and have developed self-discipline to that extent. They're the only ones healthier than me. So the way that I eat, the fact that I still have acne left, and what else do I have? Acne and irregular periods sometimes, and then athlete's foot. That's the thing that pisses me off. Athlete's foot. This means that there is candida living in your body, okay? I have had, I'm grappling with just unleashing my shit all over the internet, but like the fact that it's so important for me to use my body as an example for other people to feel comfortable with their issues is like just what it has to be. You know what I mean? That's just what it has to be. Because the only way to be a guide through the healing journey is to allow people to feel comfortable airing their shit out, you know? So if you have any sort of reoccurring fungal infections, that is yeast infections, that is athlete's foot, that is if your tongue is coated white or yellow, those three are signs of fungal infections, okay? You have a consistent reoccurring fungal infection in the body, which is rooted in the gut. That means your gut is imbalanced, okay? And that makes sense to me because the fact that I have acne, I have discovered that my acne is definitely due to a chronic lymphatic system, but my kidneys are filtering to a certain extent. Just like yesterday. Yesterday I ate that vegan Hispanic meal with plátano maduro cooked in seed oils yesterday. And this morning I woke up and I had sediment dumping into the toilet because my kidneys were like, ooh, girl, we got to get rid of this. So it's like your kidneys will know what to flush, when to flush. Okay? So. Because my acne is on my cheeks, this is a whole nother concept of face mapping, guys. I'm about to do a unit in my certification. And if y'all want to get certified in this, hit me up. I'll get you to my mentor. If you want to be on this wave and learn this shit too, we need more healers. There are 8 billion people in the world. 8 billion people in the world, and I'm only talking to 22 of you right now. Think about that. We need all the people. We need everyone. Because this knowledge cannot die, especially now. Y'all know, anyone who follows this page, you know we're on the same wave. Like, if this information dies, we are fucked. We are absolutely fucked. Because then the powers that be have 100% control, and I don't like that. I don't like that energy. I really don't like that energy. I'd rather be autonomous. I'd rather know how to go forage. Yeah, if you really want to do this, I can pass you on to my mentor. Like, I swear to God. Just, like, send me a DM. Send me a DM. I'll let you know the info because you can learn this too. I am a normal person. I started my own health journey because I had an autoimmune condition that literally almost killed me off of a medication. Okay? So I'm a normal person that decided like, hey, I don't think that I should almost be dying because I took a medication and it caused my body to almost bleed out completely. I don't think that's normal for it to flip a switch like that. And then you go on the journey and then you go off the deep end and then you discover all this, right? I need to check my battery really quick. Yeah, I figured my battery was on 2%. So we're back off the headphones. Sorry, everyone. And back charging. Like I said, I know the audio goes trash when I don't have headphones in, but sorry, we gotta do it. I gotta charge. So, analyze your body after you're clean. So like I said, if I'm eating very decently, I'm eating decently probably 90% of the time, okay? 90% of the time, I am consuming everything that I would recommend to all the people, right? Those other percent of the time, 10% of the time, it is sourdough bread with some avocado on top of it. It is a spot that I like to go to that gives me a roasted beet salad with like a ginger tahini dressing, but the fact that it's like out to eat, I can't really ensure if they're using pure olive oil or seed oils in their salad dressing. You know, that's what the rest of the 10% is. So when I'm 90% on it and I still have acne left, I still have athlete's foot, I still have irregular periods, that's when I can finally say, oh, hey, this is what's left in my body. And now that I study this, I know the exact root cause of it, right? The exact root cause of all that. I have to get rid of candida, have to flush out all the fungus that I have, right? Need to increase my mineral consumption in order for my period to regulate. You know, women, we deplete every single month. We deplete. I need enough minerals to regulate that process. And finally, acne. My acne is triggered by food, because my stomach acid is low, because my autoimmune disease required me to take chemotherapy for 2 years straight, and that completely destroyed the function of my gastric glands and other things in my body. But like I'm working on healing those other things, but the low stomach acid is a very, very prominent thing, because the only time my acne will go away fully, and I don't like doing this, but is if I take a shot of apple cider vinegar before I eat anything. I got my skin down, like last summer, a year ago, I got my skin down to nothing. My acne was so bad 2 years ago, okay? So bad 2 years ago. I got it completely cleared up last year But the only way I did that was by taking a shot of apple cider vinegar before everything I ate. So what does that tell me? That tells me that the apple cider vinegar is replacing and acting as my stomach acid, right? That's exactly what's happening. So that's what's left. The acne may be from an allergy to something. No. For some people it might be. In my body though, no. Not in my body. How does a person flush the fungus? You need to clean up your diet, and you need to take herbal support to flush fungus. I cannot tell you what those herbs are online here, because that would be giving medical advice on the internet when I don't know your health history and when I don't know your experience, because there are different herbs for different people. There are different herbs that people use. There are different herbal protocols to defungal the body. I enjoy the fact that you are here to school. I miss most of this live. I hope I save all my lives because like I need content on the page, obviously. Similar journey of healing. Love your energy. This totally resonates. Yay! I'm so glad this resonates. I love that. I love that. Why do you not like using apple cider vinegar? I don't like using apple cider vinegar because it's a band-aid approach for the root cause. If I take apple cider vinegar every single time that I eat, my body will never understand that it has to produce its own stomach acid. If you take it, you don't make it. If you take it, you do not make it. Which is why I don't agree with the naturopath approach to things. The naturopath, I've worked with naturopaths. Before I finally took it upon myself, right, I have hired probably 3 different naturopaths, 2 different holistic health nutritionist people, and everyone gave me an HCl tablet, hydrochloric acid supplement, because my stomach acid was low. Apple cider vinegar is like the same thing. Instead of taking, even though an HCl tablet is a natural treatment, right? Hydrochloric acid naturally occurring in the body, a natural supplement, that's a treatment. That's a band-aid approach. And even though apple cider vinegar is like even more natural than the HCl tablet, it's still a band-aid approach. My teeth are shiny. Would love to get some tips. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I do adore my teeth. Definitely. I will talk about it. Definitely. Okay. So that's why I don't like using apple cider vinegar, because it's a band-aid approach. I don't care if it's natural. I don't do band-aid approaches. I do not do band-aid approaches. I need to clear out my lymphatic system because I have lymphatic waste blocking the gastric glands of my stomach and preventing it from producing adequate stomach acid. Plain and simple. I want to clear my lymphatic system, and then once I clear my lymphatic system, the acne will heal up. This acne doesn't make me self-conscious. It really doesn't make me self-conscious because I know that I'm doing everything in the book. Like I said, I'm the healthiest person I know. Like, I'm my own practitioner, okay? I know what the fuck I'm doing. It's just the length of time. The length of time that this takes. You can never predict how long someone's healing journey will be. And sure, I recommend a whole detox protocol of 1 month of prepping the body, 3 months going really, really deep, and 1 month of rebuilding. So 5 months total. That is a natural cycle, but not everyone's conditions are going to be healed 100% off of only 1 cycle of detoxification after we've all been living 20, 30 years never knowing how to detox our body. It's not possible. So now that I've cleaned once, and I have this left, these 3 symptoms, really that's it, these 3 symptoms left, now I know that, okay, I can figure out what's truly wrong with my body. I checked off the box that I'm eating right. I detoxed once. Now these symptoms are left where I can get to the real root cause on these things, okay? So that's where I'm at. Like I was saying, I know what I'm doing. It just takes time. Guys. And it's the most frustrating thing because of course I have this one symptom that's like blaring on my face, right? It could just be like, y'all would never know I have athletes for irregular periods, right? You still look good though. Thank you. That means a lot. Y'all would never know, but I have this blaring symptom on my face that tells me directly, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, you gotta keep going. You have to keep going. You have to listen to your body. I put this on your face for a reason, right? I put this out there like this blaringly so you take it seriously. So, that's what's left. What is working with your mentors like? Wow. Amazing question. Working with my mentors is like unlocking superpowers every day. That is how I describe it. I feel like I am acquiring superhuman knowledge every day. And that's the way that I've described it forever. That is really the way I've described it forever. Because the fact that I can speak to 20 of you at one time and be providing you information that has been so buried is a superpower. That's a superpower in itself. Now, I'm not claiming to be some superhuman healer. I'm not claiming to be above you guys. I have just studied in this one specific field that a lot of people do not have the time to study in because they're artists, musicians, full-time job, building businesses in other ways, taking care of children, right? Do you pay for mentors? Yes, I pay for my mentors. I pay a lot of money for my mentors, right? I pay a lot of money for my mentors. But the reason why it's important, the reason why you hire people is because you do not have the time to do it yourself. That is why you hire people. For example, if you're hiring a practitioner, you don't have time to do all the research that the practitioner did to get you your healing because you don't have the time to do it. That's why you hire people. And that's why this is a career. That's why this is a career. That's how it happened. Money is an energy exchange. Money is simply an energy exchange. So if a practitioner is working with someone and they're pouring their knowledge into this person's conditions, okay, you have this combination of symptoms, this is your symptom profile, I'm looking at your whole thing, this is the root cause, XYZ, I'm putting together an herbal protocol week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 for the entire process to get you your healing. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. And because you can't do it yourself, because that is 30 plus years of knowledge acquired by that practitioner. I shouldn't say 30. Those are like the OGs. I should even say like 3 years, 4 years of this person studying. You're going to give that energy exchange back in the form of money because that's how the society has set us up to live, right? Because you don't have the energy and capacity to do that research yourself. You exchange that energy with that practitioner through the form of money because that is what a society, our human society, has deemed the currency, has deemed the energy exchange modality, right? What are your thoughts on diatomaceous earth? Don't take diatomaceous earth until you clean your body first, okay? I know diatomaceous earth has a lot of things where it can strip toxins from the body. But I don't know enough about that to safely recommend that to someone whose body is already toxic. Okay? Your body's not going to heal by adding more and more and more to it. Adding more supplements and more things that the body has to process is not helpful. Stripping things down to the simplest thing allows your body to heal, which is why fruit is superior. So fruit digests in 10 minutes, tops. Fructose, which is fruit sugar, we talked about that, takes 0 energy to be uptaken into the cells and yields a high energy level for the body. The body thrives off of fructose. This is why fruits are superior. So I will never recommend taking all those extra things like psyllium husks and diatomaceous earth and all these things before you're entering a process of detoxing your body, because you're introducing more that the body has to cope with. Your toxicity level is already so high. Why are you going to introduce more that the body has to cope with? Even if it's something that's healthy, but I would not say diatomaceous earth is healthy if your body is toxic. I would not say that. You talk about analyzing symptoms once we've stopped eating trash. What should we consider trash and the immediate changes that should be made to start on that path? What you should consider trash. Okay, y'all. What you should consider trash is anything that does not come from the earth. If anything comes from a box or bag or fast food or restaurant, all that is trash. I'm not telling you to get rid of it completely. I still eat out at my little spots. But like I said, my diet has become 90-10. I don't expect your diet to become 90-10. I expect your diet to be at least 60-40. If you're going to start this path, 60-40. 60% fruits, whole vegetables, greens, okay? 40%, maybe bread then, or rice, or eating out, or like whatever else you want to do. That's your first step. That's your first step, okay? What about spirulina? Spirulina is nature's multivitamin. Amazing. Please make sure it is a high-quality organic spirulina. Yes, spirulina is amazing. I take it every single day. Also, girls, if your period is coming late at all, right? If your period is late, like me, irregular periods, I can take a dose of spirulina and that stimulates my period to come because spirulina is so high in iron. Because if my period was late, my body's lacking minerals. So when I take nature's multivitamin, which is spirulina, that then suddenly gave my body enough minerals to where it felt comfortable, bleeding, right? So that just goes to show. What about dandelion root? Amazing. Take it as a tea. Take it as a tea for now. Amazing. Regardless of all that, you're giving your time to someone which is valuable to your benefit. Yeah, exactly. You're giving your time to someone which is valuable. Exactly. Let's see, any other questions? Yeah, okay. Good. It's sad when people don't want to hear the truth. It is sad. It is really sad. My dad is like that. It's very, very sad. My dad, I'll be telling my dad, stop eating factory farm chicken from Chick-fil-A and buying it from Stop and Shop and eat some more fruit. And he'll ask me for a study for that. He'll be like, I need a study for that. I need a study for what you're saying. You need to back what you're saying with a study. I'm like, I'm telling you to eat fruit and stop eating animals that were slaughtered in a factory because the energy of that animal is so negative. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Someone who can grasp the energetics of food truthfully and intuitively know that oh wait, this chicken's head was literally slaughtered and they grew up in an environment where their literal adrenaline is pumping 24/7 because they're in survival mode because they know what's happening. I'm telling you to not eat that, Dad. And I'm telling you to eat some more fruit. And you're saying I need a study. Okay. All right.